Hello, it is Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Wednesday crossword, so we're going to be solving a midweek, mid-difficulty crossword. Slightly short on time today, so hopefully it's not too tricky when it comes to the midweek difficulty curve. And this midweek edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Seth Wilson, Matthew Drake, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the incorrigible Sheeler Beeler. Thank you so much to the four of them. They're, of course, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they support this channel, they keep it going, they make it a sustainable part of my daily work. For that, I'm very grateful. Thank you to those four. Thanks to everybody who supports the Patreon campaign. And if you'd like to do that yourself, like those four, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons, or for benefactors, the Let's Check the Crosses mug. Well, not or, but rather and. So thank you to everybody who backs the channel in that way. Thanks as well if you subscribe on YouTube, which is a big help. And there's also that Daily Solve Discord chat server you can join via a description field link. So having said all that, let's get on to today's crossword, which is by Brad Wiegman, who's constructed, I think maybe just shy of 10 puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited once again by Joel Faliano. It's a Wednesday puzzle. There will be a theme. Let's find out what it is, and let's start solving. Captain's position, the helm. The captain captains the ship from the helm, I would say. Knows by heart. If she knows something by heart, she has it down. There might be another formulation that works here, but that's the one that comes to mind first. Let's look at this. Title for a crime boss, right? So Don is in Don Corleone, the sort of Italian mafia title. What's opposite Finland on the Gulf of Finland? Estonia. There we go. And never get involved in a land war in Asia, goes the advice in the film The Princess Bride. There we go. Great film. Cubs manager. A lioness? Sort of a lioness tending to her cubs. That's clever. I mean, obviously it's sort of meant to evoke the baseball team, the Cubs, but nope, we're reading it in a punny way, as we can tell because of the question mark pun indicator there. So it's a manager of lion cubs. Here we have a common encyclopedia graphic, probably a map, I suppose. Maybe associated more with an atlas, but certainly you could see it in an encyclopedia. Weight plus C. So this, I don't think this means wait and see. Presumably this is part of the theme of the puzzle with that plus. So wait could mean stop, and see could mean sense or sight, or no, see. I assume what we're going to be doing is combining a word for wait with a word for see, and then that will punnily, or not punnily necessarily, but that will create an existing English language idiomatic phrase. But I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Stop, light, see. I don't think that's right. Console with a sensor bar. Oh, the Nintendo Wii had that to track movement of the controller. Oh, stopwatch. There we go. Right, to see something, to watch it. There we go. So stopwatch is our phrase here. And I don't. So I mean, this is clearly the way the theme's going to work. And actually, I can see another one here with give and take. But I don't yet know if these words are going to share anything in common, or if they're just. I don't know. We'll just have to find out. Items often stored in plastic protectors. IDs, as in an ID card in a plastic protector that might be on a lanyard that you wear. Could be that. It's plural, the items, so there's going to be an S at the end, so it's almost certainly going to be something abbreviated like this. Early age garment, a onesie that a baby might wear. And professor's realm, academia. Targets of pull-down exercises in brief. Your lats, is it lateralis muscles? And person of the year for short, an alum? Person of the year. I'm wondering if it means year as in graduation year. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's what that is. Common provider of free Wi-Fi. A cafe. Cafes often have free Wi-Fi with their information posted. Okay, 29 across organization, AFC. Is that MLB? Oh, right. No. What is this? Sorry, which sport is this? I don't remember. This is ridiculous how little I know about this kind of thing, but sorry, I'm gonna have to keep going. Person of the Year for short. Alum. Oh, UFC. Oh, mixed martial arts UFC? That must be what it is. And then this would be alum. Okay, good. I'm glad I had that on my mind. So here we have conductor Zubin Mehta. There we go. That at least I do know. Um, okay, good. So we're moving along. Touch of color. A tinge, maybe? Just a sort of tinge of red. Actually, it could be tinct as well. Same root as tincture. Maybe we'll delete this for now, but it's certainly T. I mean, I shouldn't say certainly, but given it starts with T, I suspect it's one of those two words. Let's look at this. Entrees. Well, if you have an entree into an opportunity, you could say, I have an inn. I know someone who works there, for instance. Give and take. Hand, take. Give and take. To give someone something is to hand it to them. To take something is to... I don't know why I can't ever see the second word here. What about this? To kill a mockingbird writer. That's Harper Lee. There we go. Is it handball? That was my first thought, but I don't see what. No, I don't think it is. It's just what my brain keeps going to for some reason. Prescription writers, RX writers for prescription writers. Abbreviation would be doctors, presumably. Well, it could be MDs, actually, for medical doctors. Take. Hand palm? To take something to palm it like a pickpocket might? Or a magician with sleight of hand? I'm not sure. Oh, handhold. To take something, right, take my hand, hold my hand. There we go. So handhold, which actually involves both of those. All right, so we have stopwatch, handhold. I still can't tell if anything connects these, but let's keep going. Big name in sports betting. Not sure offhand. What about this? Abolitionist Senator Charles. Schumer could share a name with Chuck Schumer. I'm not sure. Remote possibilities. What about this? Moves gingerly. Inches? 20 inch? No, that doesn't fit. Sorry. Moves gingerly. Creeps would fit in 5 letters. I'm not sure. Okay, let's go back up here. Degrees from Northwestern's Kellogg School. I sort of vaguely think these might be MBAs. I think this might be a business school. So let's just try it and see if it works. Fixer-uppers of a sort. Of a sort. So it could, I mean, usually not usually, but often, fixer-upper refers to a house that you buy knowing it will need to be heavily refurbished. But I'm not sure how that works with this. Remote possibilities could deal with a sort of television remote or something, as opposed to a distant possibility. I mean, that could be what the question mark pun icon is indicating. Good guess for a single letter in a cryptogram. Oh. And? A single letter. Does a cryptogram substitute sort of letters for words? Is that what's going on? I would have assumed in a sort of ordinary cryptogram, letters were swapped for other letters. I'm not sure. Alveolus, e.g. Alveolus, e.g. I mean, this is anatomical, but I can't think what an alveolus is, unfortunately. Animal life. Could be fauna, like flora and fauna, flora, plant life, and fauna, animal life in 5 letters. There are probably other possibilities, but I'm just going to type that in to see if it helps me with anything here. Big name in sports betting. FanDuel I've heard of. FanDuel, I think must be a sports betting company. I don't even know that I knew that's what it was, but I've certainly heard of it. That might be it. Top flight destination. I don't know. Fixer-uppers of a sort. Match something? Remote possibilities. Oh, buttons. Right, the possibilities on the remote are suggested by the different buttons on the remote. So good guess. It does look like and. I don't get why that would be the case. I'm just thinking it's a common word, so it might be a good guess in general. Alveol. Oh, a sac? Is that an anatomical sac, maybe? Oh, yeah. Top flight destination is an attic. So the top flight you're taking the top flight of stairs up to the highest room in the house, which could be an attic. Oh, so an it was a single letter, an I. And if you see an individual letter as a word in a cryptogram, it's probably either A or I. And those would be the most likely options. Okay, that's the answer. I finally understand it. So fixer-uppers of a sort are, no, it's not what I was thinking. It's matchmakers. It's someone who fixes people up in the sense of introduces them with the intention of a romantic connection. That's what it is. Okay, so touch of color is a tinct. Good. It was not a tinge. Charles Sumner. I do know that name from U.S. history. Okay, well, there we go. Did not have it in mind before. I think we've seen all these. Let's keep going. Aggressively pro-war. So if you're hawkish, you could be more pro-war as opposed to dovish. And where Captain Kirk was born and raised, I mean, it certainly looks like Iowa, which I sort of vaguely remember from one of the more recent sort of new era of Star Trek films. Imitation could be mock, as in a mock review, an imitation review. Kiss and tell is smack talk. There we go. There's one. So kiss is smack, tell is talk, and then we make smack talk. Turns out it's easier when you have some crosses in there. Prudent, if someone's prudent, they might well be, they're probably wise. And creatures that kill Laocoon in the Aeneid. Sea serpents? Let's just make sure that that's right. I'm sure I pronounced that name incorrectly. Apologies. Organization with the Artemis program. Right, okay, so right. It's NASA, that's a space program, so there we go. And times to get back to work. Not sure. What about this? Attaboy, you might say. There we go. You went through a phase, I would say, where we were getting quite a few attaboy and attagirl clues in the puzzle. Haven't seen it all that much recently, but there it is. Drummer's collection, so drum kits. It's a collection of drums that a drummer plays. Rocket-shaped frozen treat. Oh, Astropop? Yeah, that's it. Dropped behind. If one dropped behind, physically lowered your behind, you sat down. That's funny. I've not seen that one before. Okay, blows it. If one blows it, one errs, one makes a mistake. And if you're not in motion, you're resting. I think that'll probably be right. Caboose is the rear car of a train. And gap filler, sealant maybe? Oh no, that doesn't look good with this. Gather. Oh, maybe gather is reap. Maybe this isn't rear car. Is that gap filler? Oh, spackle? So, right, so sealant, spackle, caulk, these are all different forms of things you might use to fill a gap in a home for various reasons. So what's this? Caboose, then? I don't know. Fiddler on the Roof setting. Well, it's set in Russia. We can assume from its frequent references to the Tsar and to the pogroms that occur. What a fixer-upper home needs casually. Oh, TLC. Oh, right. That's funny. So we had a reference to fixer-uppers here and then another here. But in this case, the meaning that I had in mind earlier. Okay, so caboose may be a rail car then. We're not specifying that it's the rear car, but it is an example. Oh, I see. So it is e.g. It's an example of a rail car. There we go. So actually, yeah, rear car would have been less correct because we wouldn't have needed the e.g. to indicate that it's an example. That would have been more of an actual definition of caboose. Whereas in this case, the e.g. indicates it's just an example of the thing being answered. Cut and paste. Clip, cut, clip, paste. Stick, clip, stick? No, that's not right. Chap, stick, cut, chap? No. I think this is probably right. To paste something to something, to stick it to it, or I guess you could have a glue stick. FedEx competitor, UPS, so that's a shipping and logistics company. Miranda rights reader. So a cop in the US would read you your Miranda rights, which informs you, for instance, that you have the right to remain silent. Popular pop. I don't know, but let's finish off this corner since it's almost done. Confucian philosophy would be the Tao, the way. And enemy of Hop o' My Thumb, an ogre. This is sort of children's fairy tale story. I don't really remember the details of it, but ogre is a very common, probably the official fairy tale enemy of the New York Times crossword, so there we go. Or fairy tale monster. Ultra fastidious would be anal, so sort of anal retentive. And then gorilla, who was said to have developed the vocabulary level of a 3-year-old human. That was Coco the gorilla, I believe, was her name. Popular pop. So what is this? Oh, maybe it's Coco with K's. That must be right, because this would be pop in the sense of a soft drink. So pop used in some regions of the United States, but not where I grew up, so I did not immediately think of that. But there we go. It's a soda. It's a Coke. And a popular one at that. Between 90 and 100, say, would be hot in temperature Fahrenheit, maybe? In degrees Fahrenheit? Oh, right. No, this is chopstick. Right. Okay, good. To cut something is to chop it. So there we go. Okay, so what do we have here? Stopwatch, smack talk, chopstick, and I think one more that we've not yet found. Between 90 and... So it is hot, yeah. And then no blank airplane wing warning. No step. Don't step on the airplane wing, I suppose. I think I've seen that warning printed. Uses a straw. Well, you could drink your Coke by sucking it through a straw. All right. Hit and run. Okay, so here's the last one. Rush. Something rush. Hit. I'm not that great at this, am I? Let's look at this. Times to get back to work. Not sure. And here we have the S of UCSD. I do know this is definitely the University of California at San Diego. So the S... Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, no. Maybe this is wrong. Surely that's what this is. University of California, San Diego. So the S would be San. Oh, dash. Oh, slapdash. There we go. Okay, so I was wrong about my rush for run. There we go. Okay, well, that was just... Honestly, that was just lucky that I know UCSD, because you might not. I mean, I lived in San Diego for a long time, so that is why I know that. Or one reason, anyway. Actor Reeves. Oh, Keanu Reeves. There we go. And times to get back to work. Oh, middays? Why? Why would you get back to work at midday? You could take lunch at midday. Probably not the answer. Let's keep going. Evening stroll from the Spanish. I'm not sure offhand. What about this? Faux blank, faux pas. There we go. An error, a mistake. Oh, is it paseo? That's definitely a Spanish word that would, I would assume, based on its root, would deal with walking. But I'm not sure, so let's keep looking. Wounded Knee Site for short. Well, Wounded Knee is not capitalized, so I don't think it's referring to the place name. I think it means literally where you wounded your knee. So maybe the ACL, the increasingly maybe deserving to be the official injury location of the New York Times crossword, the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament. So I think that's probably right. Let's keep going. Okay, this does look like paseo. Very wet. Sorry, I actually just need a sip of water. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go. Very wet. Oh, soaking wet. That's what it is. This looks like acorns. Symbols of humble beginnings. There we go, right, because it grows into a huge oak tree from this humble little acorn. Times to get back to work. Oh, it's not middays, it's Mondays. That was incredibly obvious. This is paseo. Yeah, I don't know why I thought of midday before Monday. Obviously, Monday's when you get back to work, or when many of us do. Like Rudolph's nose is shiny and red from the sort of Christmas, I don't know, carol, like a Christmas song, I guess, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Not really a carol, but a song. Steady as she goes. So, seafarer might say, maybe the captain at the helm. And a big name in ketchup, Hunt's ketchup, I think I've seen. And then keep close to, if you hug someone, you keep them close, literally or metaphorically. And then no for vegans would be eggs, because that's an animal product. And there we go. So we had a theme that did not announce itself with a revealer. It was simply strewn throughout the grid in symmetrically disposed positions, which is always good. And it looks like we had 5 of them. So wait and see, stopwatch. Give and take, handhold. kiss and tell, smack talk, hit and run, slapdash, and finally cut and paste, chopstick. And it's very nicely constructed because obviously each of these is derived from a phrase that exists idiomatically in English. So wait and see, that's a common phrase. Give and take, that's a common phrase. But then they also create compound words or phrases that are, again, common English idiomatic phrases. And it's nice. It's just a nice way to think about these little linguistic pairings. And that's that. That's all there is to the theme. You do need to engage with it in order to finish this puzzle, and we did just that. And we finished the puzzle, and that is it for Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow with maybe a slightly more ambitious theme. Do join me then and find out. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.